What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. I've got a very special guest for this live where we're getting into the Ukrainian selection. It's Iryna from OGAE Ukraine. Iryna, dobry вечір.
Oh my God. You saved this to surprise me. Goodness. 12 points go to Canada.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get into these songs. Before we do, though, I want to say hello to some people who have been very kindly waiting for us. Hello to Morton V. Really excited to see what Ukraine will select. Shum was my favorite from 2021. Mine too. How about you, Iryna? Was it your favorite?
I mean, it's second favorite. So it's like every second person, no?
What was your favorite?
I mean, the whole top was my favorite. I was pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit jealous. Maybe I wanted OGAE to came at least second.
Yeah, but I mean, still a great result, and one that I think might definitely surprised people when seeing how they were responded to over from the time that they were selected at Vidbeer in 2020. I don't know if a lot of people would have seen them getting right into the top 10, and not only did they do so, well, the top 5 really, but they've also turned themselves into icons, and yeah, a song that I really love, and lots of other people. Hello to Max Ross. Hello to DJ Sarah, DJ Parody, Sarah Halloran, trying to catch up on Six Nations rugby. Margarita showing some love for Iryna.
Oh my gosh, I'm still crying with cuteness. That's my friend.
I can't read this. Nice to meet you. I can't read this person's name, but they can't wait.
Dima, that's our editor.
Oh, okay. And then we've got someone else here.
I can't tell what is it.
Oh, okay. Well, they're saying привет. Vladislav Semenchenko saying hello from Ukraine. Iryna is amazing.
OGAE Ukraine.
Nice to meet you as well. And we'd love to know what you have to say about these entries. We've already got someone saying girls and Tini Zabuchi Prediv.
This is Alina Pash song.
Yes, which we're going to be referring to in the English name for my sake. Nonetheless, hello to Tommy Corbett. Nice to see you. Asking what's everyone's favorite Ukrainian entry. Ride Bailey hasn't heard the songs yet. Well, we're going to be playing some clips so that you can get a teaser of them. Definitely you're going to want to hear them in full when you get a chance. And a little bit of promo here. OGAE Ukraine YouTube channel will translate Vidbeer live. If you're interested, go and follow them, and Iryna will be there.
Oh yeah, that's so true. That's so true. I'll be like family watching. My son, who's a American Ukrainian, he will react.
Oh, perfect. So of course, hello to Andy from Eurovoxx. Hello to Elena. Hello to Marika. Hello to Yusuf. Nice to see you. Ukraine delivering yet again. We've got G87 ESC. Hello from London. Anyway, lots of you. Hello to Vladislav. Greetings from OGAE Ukraine. I think we should get into some music, but first and foremost, I want to know, Iryna, your impressions on the overall selection this year, because it is a little bit different from years in the past. This time, the Ukrainian broadcaster is doing it by themselves. Before, there was a partnership with another agency, and now they're taking it on all by themselves. So how do you feel going into this year?
I don't know. I resort, my patriotic flower crown over here, like, great. Ukraine's gonna serve well.
Definitely.
We familiar with the situation of Suspilne. They have not that big a budget, but they wanted to. I think they want to preserve the authenticity and focus on performances to deliver each song perfectly, because maybe it was diversity. They have the diversity over the years. They had diversity and a lot of entries, but maybe a little raw presentation. And this is a smart move, I think. we need like kind of save money for the station in Turin, and
Yeah, absolutely.
have the great show in the end. Everyone is gonna be satisfied. I'm really miss semifinals. I want more like Melody Festivalen wide because we have so much talent to show, and they all should be represented to have a chance to be represented with beer. Yeah.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
with that said, I have to say the 8 entries that we have. I mean, one of them we haven't heard yet, the song by Wellboy. But still, as has been indicated by some of the comments we've seen, lots of excitement about it. Ukraine obviously has a bit, like, especially coming after last year, big shoes to fill. So I think let's get into some of these songs. The first one we're going to start off with is Alina Pash. So introduce us to her.
Okay. So I'm gonna have an interview. That's a secret. I'm gonna have an interview with Alina Pash. That will be hard because I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm gonna be fangirling all the way. Alina Pash is our 100% Bitanga, has an authentic style of the singer is a mix of electronic music, hip hop, pop music, ethnic, and folk. She's mixing a lot to get this unique style. Her aim is very pure to light up the audience inner music.
Mhm.
She also received, that's really interesting, like recently, she received an award, the Music Moves Europe Award, the European Union Prize for upcoming artists who present the sound of today and tomorrow. So this is what I wanted for Eurovision. As a fan of Eurovision, not specifically Ukraine, but I wanted Ukraine bring something new this age to Eurovision. Hey, Dylan, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, Dylan was able to join us. He was having some technical issues. So very quickly, how are you doing, Dylan?
Great, thank you. Доброго вечера всем, and looking forward to this evening.
Wonderful. And you came just in time because we are just about to play the first song. So let's do it.
Cool.
Okay, so Iryna, I'm going to go back to you because I would like for you to contextualize that song. Definitely very haunting, and I think people who were fans of GOAE and are hungry to still see something that is modern but has traditional roots in it are this could be something that they really enjoy. So tell us about what's being said in this song.
I think they have a lot of similarities with GOAE here because GOAE Shum was a banger, you can sit tight. But here I feel goosebumps. I don't know, like Jamala goosebumps,
Yeah.
and maybe more, maybe Duncan goosebumps, and like a lot of goosebumps. And this is not what I expected from Alina. And kudos to her. She was so brave to present something not calculated, for Eurovision, but something unique and from her heart, what she wanted to say. This is she wanted to say. She wanted to talk about struggle of Ukrainian people over the course of history. We've been to a lot of tragedies that we want to kind of remember our ancestor, but write our own history. That's a great message. And also kind of, we have an Easter egg here, because Tini Zabutych Predkів. This is actually a gold cinema. It's by Parajanov. It's a part of world.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's Ukrainian movie.
Okay, I didn't know that, and I'll have to check it out. But Dylan, this is something that you recognize?
Yeah, it's something I recognize, and it gives me goosebumps, as Iryna said. Give me some vibes of Jamala's song when she won. And I like it because it's a very powerful song. I can see a lot of potential, especially on the staging. So I like also something that we didn't heard during this snippet, that she is switching at some point to poetry slam, which gives a touch of modernity somehow and emphasizes on the message. So it's a very nice song and very nice orchestration.
Yeah, absolutely. And going off of the context that I have of it, you can tell that there's a lot of meaning to it. And I like what you said, Iryna, as well, about how it was made without, not necessarily with the intentions of going to Eurovision, but telling a true, authentic story. And I think that aspect is really important, because ultimately, music should in most cases be made like that. I get that sometimes it's nice to say like, oh, well, if I'm going to Eurovision, then I want to do this, and I want to show that I can do this amazing thing with my voice and whatever. But the authenticity is there. In some ways, it reminds me of Katia Chile's entry from 2 years ago, but a little bit more accessible. I don't know how you feel about that, Iryna.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. And I think, Katia Chile kind of reminds me David Lynch, but Ukrainian style. Because she's like meditating through her song. And she has absolutely unique, powerful voice. We need her at Eurovision at some point. I really need her. I want to just add to Alina Pash. Everyone should watch out, because she is a great singer. She can rap, yes, but she's very powerful. She's very powerful and a contender. So watch out, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Like right from the moment that the song started, it sounded competitive, and that's why I think we should definitely keep our eyes on this one. So now to some of your comments. Alexander, nice to see you again. I love Alina Pash, but after we were treated to the amazing GOAE last year, an epic entry from Ukraine isn't my first priority from them this year. Roxolana is my favorite. Fair enough.
That's my also friend. Hi, Alexander. I love you.
I mean, Alexander is often in our videos too, so it's great to see. It's nice to see where other people tune in, and that we can bring you guys together, because Eurovision is about togetherness.
Exactly.
And we've got a little heart from Helga.
Who would understand you more on the Eurovision fans.
Yeah, exactly. Vladislav is telling us that that film is really great. And Alexandros is saying it makes a sense of pop tradition in the first song. So I guess saying that like it is a pop song, but it's got that mix of traditional elements in it.
Yeah, some kind of ballad, but not a regular one. Even
exactly.
Where the crying in the glass.
No, you're right, because it isn't the type of ballad that we would hear from the Balkans or even from Scandinavia. A lot of people tend to think in this kind of bop ballad duality, and this one is definitely more fits the ballad style, but it still has enough of its uniqueness to it, and it has cultural elements that are authentic and not like put in there just to say yes, we're from Ukraine, right?
Yeah, and it's a very unusual song as well, because she can switch again from a song type to another. And as he said, Stuart, it's not something that we would expect necessarily from a specific country. Ukraine had this amazing opportunity to change in the past. And when you look at the different entries the country had and that did great in the contest, they're all different. And so that's why this song is a clear contender. And I think that the singer could bring this in a top 5 in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. You had something else. Sorry, go ahead, Iryna.
I'm just agreeing, we are praising our interests, and I'm just agreeing here.
Yeah, I guess it's not hard to argue with that if it's all love. Yeah. This is, I mean, not the only one in the selection, but this I think would be a great choice for Ukraine. So I think we should move on to the next one then, which is Kalesh Orchestra. Tell us about them.
Yeah, Kalesh. That's a city, actually. That's a city where the lead of this band from, and I really like that. The appreciating your roots. Okay, quickly, the band includes. It was initially just Kalesh, and for Eurovision they kind of get together like we did for a Kalesh Orchestra, and band includes Oleg, who's the lead and the rapper, and also lyricist, Igor Didenchuk, multi-instrumentalist from GOAE, aka Flute Guy.
Yeah.
He's getting back to Eurovision. Yeah. Amazing character, very funny one. MC Kiliman, which is rug or carpet.
Okay.
He's very funny and he can do anything. He's like kind of filling in the gaps, singing, dancing, whatever. Also, possibly it's multi-instrumentalist Timothy Muzyczuk and Vitaly Didchuk and Johnny Divny backing vocals. Yeah, this is actually an interesting creation. They focuses on rap with folk motives and Ukrainian authenticity, and his song for national selection is about his mom, Stefania.
Okay. Well, let's take a listen to it then. Definitely one that gets you moving. I'm sold. I was almost sold right from the very first note on that one. So you already told us that it's about his mother. What do you think about the song, Iryna?
Yeah, I have like two glasses, shades. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You switched.
And the banger, and the banger. That's a banger, and I can see how it could be presented at the Eurovision stage. It could do really well. It just 50-50 for me, and I need to see them live at Vidbeer on Saturday. I can really tell they have so much energy, and they're also a lot of fun, and I can contain myself. I'm just dancing to this track. It's interesting track and something different for Kalesh, who's a very serious guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said before, I was kind of sold almost immediately, and like maybe that's not correct to say, because like my interest was piqued, and there's been other songs where they kind of start that way and then they go in a completely other direction, and then I lose it. But this one is definitely one that my interest was maintained, and just the vibe of it all, the instrumentation as well. And as soon as I heard the sopilka, I was like, oh. Well, firstly, I hope it's a sopilka, because I know that they have different names. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of like what OGAE had. And as we now know, he's participating in this performance as well. So, Dylan, what do you think of this song?
Yeah, I share your opinion, guys. It's a very nice song. It gets into your head and it's stuck there. But I do share also Iryna's concern, because to me it's a 50-50 song. It could do amazingly well, but at the same time it's also in the footsteps of Goa. So the audience might be a bit bored. I really love this mix between rap and folk music from Ukraine. It gets me really. But I would like to see them on the stage and to see what it can actually be for the Vidbeer and eventually the Eurovision. Yeah, but
absolutely.
I think it's also very valuable that they sing in Ukrainian, because it's a good way to export the culture of a country. It gives a touch of uniqueness to a song, and so I give them extra points just for that, actually.
Yeah, but I like, despite the fact that I do really like the song, I also share your opinions as well, as far as the live is really going to be a make or break aspect of it, because especially just because hip hop in general is quite divisive when it comes to Eurovision, and there has been instances of it being done fairly well, and even recent examples that we can point to. But I think that at least what the song is presenting us shows some promise in that, and yeah, I mean, especially because we get some change ups in the instrumentation. What else? Yeah, and having that traditional aspect too, that feels again authentic to it, rather than it just being shoehorned in there, is absolutely a strength of it. Well, was there something you wanted to add, Iryna?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Let me say this, because I interviewed the lead, Oleg, and he actually noticed that this is quite good catch. What you're saying, actually, it could apply to any genre, rock song or rap, because if it's good, it's good. It's better. And he mentioned that Måneskin actually giving us some flows.
Oh, okay.
And also Blind Channel giving us flows. So we have a lot of rap. We just haven't noticed how much. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's afraid for them not to get into freestyling a lot, so live wouldn't struggle. But there is and this is also like for this part, John, of Oleg. the lyricist, he put in inner rhymes. This is something very unique for rap, putting in inner rhymes, which is hook for non-native speakers. This
Oh.
in your mind, this is inner rhymes, and it's actually complicated.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely warrants some extra listens, but we'll leave it there, and we'll go to some of your comments. G87ESC saying Alina or Kalesh for the win. Kalesh, right? Kalesh.
Kalesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to contextualize this one. DJ Parody saying it's weird having a song called Stefania. She was the biggest fan of Stefania from Greece last year. This is interesting from Alexandra saying a sympathetic song reminds them of discotheque from Lithuania last year, but softer. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting tech.
I haven't.
We're showing some. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said that it didn't occur in my mind actually, but I can see the link. Yeah, with disco.
Yeah. I mean, it's got that kind of danceable vibe to it, but yeah, it's more down tempo, right? So Andy was just showing some love for the flute guy.
Sex guy, flute guy.
Exactly. He's lightly memeable, but important to the band. We've got Margarita saying that her favorite is Michael Soul. We'll be talking about them in a little while. And then we've also got some love for Roxolana. And then Alexander Pagel saying Discotheque, his 2021 winner. So with that, why don't we move on to our next artist, which happens to be Roxolana. Tell us about her.
Oh my God. She's a girl. She's so sweet and she's easygoing. The one you would hang out with her definitely in the Euro Club. I interviewed her for our English channel, and it was really neat icebreakers. We just kicked in right away. So she will be very honest on the stage, translating everything she feels. And let me just a little brag about her. Singer, songwriter, participant of Voice, and she also launched art project Ukraine is, which combines modern music and Ukrainian poetry. The art project contains 5 songs and video clips based on the words of famous Ukrainian poets, like Lina Kostank. It's very famous poets, and she also include prominent Ukrainians became heroes of the clips, like Nina Matvienko, Kaska Band, director Akhtem Sentibayev, who was long-listed for Oscar, and other artists. So kudos for her, and she became also first Ukrainian singer to release video using sign language. And translated. The clip is dedicated to the International Day of Sign Language. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah, was definitely an artist with a lot of promise. And as we've seen already in our comments, there's already been people who have expressed their love for this one. Yeah. So let's hear it. Another one that gets you moving. I mean, I think the fire glasses are perfect for this one as well. Iryna, tell me, what do you think about the song?
Oh my God. Dylan?
I mean, I really love that song. It's very catchy. It's one of my favorites. I love the mix between, again, you can see that there is some Ukrainian traditional roots, and it's very valuable to the song. I love also the fact that, she can switch from a song to another. Again, it's very soft pop at the beginning, and then it's much more catchy. It gives a little je ne sais quoi to her song, and it really gets me. I love it. Yeah. I would really love to see her performance on stage, actually, because it has an amazing potential, and I believe that she would do great also in the Eurovision in Turin.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, spoiler alert, this is definitely one that I can see going to Eurovision as well. And I think that there are certain kind of typical Eurofan qualities that work for this, but while you can kind of put it in the category of a typical Eurobop being sung by a female performer, having a dance beat and all that, that's not all that it is. It really has its own thing going for it, which to me is perfect. And I see so many strengths in it. Also, I think it should be mentioned, Girls Just Want to Have Fun as in like referencing Cyndi Lauper. I think that is fantastic.
Referencing everyone, like Madonna as well.
Oh, there's a reference to Madonna?
As well, I would say as well. I think she might know about
Girls
it.
wanna have fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. But anyway, Iryna, tell me what you think of the song.
And also in that clip, Madonna clip, where girls just want to have fun, we have Kazaki, who's a Ukrainian dancers.
There's lots of layers to that.
Easter eggs. Yeah, I mean, I can't contain myself. You know, when you interview people, I mean, I think you can relate to this. You start feeling related, and you have form some kind of bond and emotional tangles, you know. And I want her also represent Ukraine, and I love we have this diversity. And when I heard the song, I was like, we can do this. We actually do this. Nice, really nice. And I also love the thing about the song that it was easy. It just came to her. It's not like a huge amount of people, like marketing department, just writing with the focus groups. It just came to her. She was dancing, having fun. It just came to her, and I love this. Only concern that we already have dancing girl, and outdance that girl will be very difficult. And I'm talking about slow-mo. So this is, and I know she's in the weight of Fuego and Eleni Foureira in that category, and Roxolana can fall in the category like Zina and Stefania, right? So possibly, but outdance Chanel, it's impossible. So she need to think about some funny staging like Nicholas Joseph, you know, appeal to this younger public.
No, it is absolutely going to be how they present the song in order to you know, further distinguish it from the other entries. Now, I would love to pull up some other comments to talk to some of the people who've been commenting. I'm pretty sure my mouse has decided to die on me right now. So I'm going to switch it out. Can you guys keep talking about that a little bit, about you know, staging ideas for this? I'm going to be right back.
Yes.
I think we could do that. Yeah.
I can talk about Eurovision all day. I can do this all day.
I have no doubt about that. But tell me, do you have any insight maybe about the staging that she could actually use? Because as you said, if we want something to be completely different from slow-mo, it needs to be really less dancey, and at the same time, I don't see how she could do it with such so.
I don't think she could do this song without dancing. She needs to include dancing, but you also can do, you know, push these buttons, different buttons, because she can have this bubbly and romantic and this young self, where we have more like sexual. So she can just leverage different angle, and that would be her take. I don't know how will they solve this, but I also know this. What they do, her team, I love it. I don't know, it's appeal to me. From her, you know, filters in Instagram.
Yeah, so you trust them.
To this lyric video. I'm not a fan of video clips, actually. I'm not watching them. I love lyric videos. When she was like, her face. She can dance her face.
Yeah, and I can see that Roxolana is quite popular in our viewers.
Are we that surprised?
Not really. I mean, she's popular.
We can see the odds on the EurovisionWorld.com. She's second after Alina Pash. And that will depend on the staging. And I hope, Alexander, considering how I love Shum, I really shouldn't prefer a fairly radio-friendly song like Girls over ones with a cultural touch. But there you go, my winner.
What I would say to that is a good song is a good song. I understand why, for a lot of Eurovision fans, like, you know, I see why a lot of people like Eurovision as kind of an escape from the typical radio music that we hear. It makes a lot of sense. But ultimately, if they're doing it in a good way, and I have to say that even like Chanel in Spain with Slow Mo, solid performer. And, you know, while the song might not be anything really reinventing the wheel, if it's performed that excellently, then it absolutely deserves to be there. So don't you know, think less of yourself just because you like something that maybe is, you know, a little bit more typical in some ways. And again, like, it's not as if this one doesn't have any cultural elements to it, and it's got it, and again, it's natural.
Yeah,
there's plenty. There is like Ukrainian chanting and Ukrainian ethnic inserts here and there, which is a hook. I think she's using Kaska elements, you know.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's move on to our next artist, which is Michael Soul, which I don't know too much about him, but I know that he has competed to represent Belarus in 2019. So what can you tell us about Michael?
Yeah, I mean, you are in trouble. You're giving me a voice and I'm covering all the... I'm so sorry. Just for the record, he told me to prepare and I prepared.
She did.
So Michael Soul, and he deserved the time he will get. The name of a young musician from Brest, from Belarus, is better known in Ukraine than Belarus, I think. At home, the talented artist did not receive recognition enough and even wanted to put the end to career, but his move abroad is a matter of time. So he moved to Ukraine, and he participated in talented shows in Ukraine. And, you know, I just want to say I'm telling him through my videos all the time that I'm really sorry he wasn't appreciated enough in national selection in Belarus. And I love his song Humanize. It's my playlist. And I remember him at Voice. He's such a great performer. The plastic, the organic of the face and everything, like stage presence and his voice, this magic voice, you can mix with anyone. And I think he has a fair chance. Depends again on the staging. And I love that Ukraine give him a chance and choose him for the final. This is a win. This is achievement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Happy ending, you know.
Yeah. So let's take a listen to this song, and you know, this is definitely not going to be one that people forget. So this is Michael Soul and Demons.
Our demons, baby.
Okay, so why don't we go to you first, Dylan? Tell me. There we go. We got this the tear glasses back. But Dylan, what do you think of what Michael's bringing?
Michael's bringing a powerful voice. It's a very different entries from the others. It helps distinguish itself. And I really like his voice, actually. He has an amazing voice. To me, it's very nice. And I am expecting a spectacular staging that could help him reach the top 3 of the final. He might not be one of the favorites, but I definitely sense something that could help. Also, I love the lyrics. It's something that is very relatable in today's world. And I don't know why it gives me some Melovin vibes. So I know that both songs were completely different. But yet I don't know why. There is some similarities I can't explain, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from in terms of, well, especially his image is very androgynous, right?
Yeah.
And you know, and even in his voice, he's got a lot of falsetto going on there. He's doing a lot of, you know, kind of precise, I don't know if you'd call it modulation, but maybe they're more better classed as runs, you know, kind of adding some embellishment to it. And Iryna, I know you already touched on how you feel about the song a bit, but how well do you think you can do in this competition?
That's a tough question. You know, I'm really happy about LBGD friendly entry in the final. I mean, we're developing and moving on, and I love this. And I think he needs a fair representation, a fair chance. But I have this concern that people won't vote because he's not Ukrainian. Fortunately, still a thing. Still,
Mm.
we not get used to it. And I know our artists even represent in different countries, but for Ukraine, it should be Ukrainian. And
Mm.
he needs just his own fan base, like Melvin. That's a good
Mm.
thing. I think they have similar kind of messages about mental health, about struggles. I think it's similar issues, struggles, you know. And I would totally support him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting is how he's using the 7 deadly sins from Christianity to kind of communicate that idea. And you know, in a way that's not, I wouldn't call it like a criticism of religion or anything. It's just like kind of a direct application of this is the kind of things that people struggle with. The only drawback for me is that I don't think
sorry, I just need to say this. It's actually one of the positive comments on our channel under his video. Somebody very Christian was a really fan of his song because he brought all the sense. So yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. So the only drawback for me is that I don't think that lyrically it's as sound as some of the other songs. I think that you know, when it's come to the English lyrics in this selection, that some of them could use some finessing, some more than others. But I still think that this song has other things going for it. That vocal performance is going to be so central to it. The darkness is going to be really captivating. And so yeah, like. I'm very curious to see what this is going to be like live. Ladislav saying, Michael is amazing, love his voice. And Alexander saying, Demon's chorus could be epic live with the right camera work. Orhan saying, he is Belarusian, and I would love to see him representing Ukraine, and they threw mud on him at the Belarus national final. I don't know too much about the story about that, because this was before I really got into Eurovision, but I'm glad to see that he's getting a chance, and even if not to you know, go and represent Ukraine at Eurovision, to get that exposure and to build up an audience, and then maybe that will work for him later on down the road, where he's won over the public and he'll have a better chance going forward. And Andy reminding all you to show some love to OGAE Ukraine and subscribe to their channel on YouTube.
Thank you.
We'll at the very end of the video, we'll also remind you to do that as well, and of course like and subscribe to us as well. I cannot read your name, but I think the revamped version of Michael's song will definitely qualify if selected. Has it been released?
What was released?
The revamped version.
Yeah. Yes, we even did English version reaction on that song, and I was like you know, moderator and invited 2 different people, and when I heard the song, I was like, oh my god, I'm reacting this to this revamp actually for the first time. I haven't heard it. It's better, but I agree with you on the lyrics. I mean, living in America taking toll on me. I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm kind of fan of Ukrainian version of the songs.
Okay.
You have to translate your emotion correctly, and it's hard to do when you translate into English. Yeah, losing a lot, but he's searching, so I would give him that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's important, and it's one of the things that I like about Eurovision, because yeah, sometimes the English lyrics are not. That happens to me all the time. Sometimes we get English lyrics that are not at the level that you would see on the radio, or you know, that would come from people who are native language speakers. But sometimes you also find really creative ways of expressing ideas that native English speakers wouldn't think of.
English не verstehen, let's big dance.
Exactly. Why don't we move on to our next artist? This is Our Atlantic. What can you tell us about Our Atlantic?
Oh, that's really interesting, guys. You know, they reminded me of Pola Punk. Remember?
Yeah.
I mean,
from Iceland 2014.
This is all I think about when I hear that song. a Ukrainian indie pop group from Uman. It's near Kiev, near capital. It's like a small town, village. Musical specificity, the group is interested in disco, funk, and soul, inspired by Ukrainian vusatism, which is funk of 70s, 80s mustaches. I don't know.
Mustaches. It's mustache music.
Yeah, so they, even with description, they kind of some kind of enigma.
Okay.
Interviews, vocally specialty band in sweet melodic vocals. Front has a falsetto voice. And yeah, they have a lot of like reflection from 70s, 80s, and their national selection song is Moia любов, which is my love.
I'm glad that you said that before I did, because I mean that one's not quite as difficult to say as like the Ukrainian version of Alina's song, but I'm glad that you said it. So let's take a listen to our Atlantic and Moia любов. See, yeah. I tried. I'm so excited for this glasses change.
It's just specifically for our Atlantic, these glasses.
By the way, Iryna, please feel free to join us for like any other video, because you bring so much life and character. We're always happy to have you again.
That's Ukraine. We always bring a lot of props. You know,
True.
I have
right.
a tree here.
Yes, we've got Goe's trees. Yeah. But let's go to you, Dylan. What do you think of this song?
I agree with what Iryna said. It's also part of my little research for this live. It gives me a lot of 70s vibes. I like it. I really love the fact that it's Ukrainian. Again, as we said before, it helps to convey emotions and feelings. So it's definitely a plus. And it's also different from the other entries and from what we've heard so far that will be running in the Eurovision. So definitely a good way to distinguish itself. And it's typically, you know, the kind of feel-good song that you would listen, I don't know, walking along the beach or wherever you want. But it gives good vibes, and I really like it, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a feel-good song. And I personally am a real sucker for, you know, songs that have that like a really funky bass line and are just, you know, really easy on the ears. It's been interesting though, because when I've seen some of the polls that are online, this one doesn't seem to be that well appreciated, which I guess like in a Eurovision fan sense makes sense. But like Iryna, is there anything that you can tell me about the reception in Ukraine, or at least among Ukrainian fans for this song?
You know, they totally new to the public as well. I mean, that's why they don't have so much fan base, because Alina was not just emerging as a like explosive artist. Even if she knew to this, I think our Atlantic could bring something interesting, because I see they probably more experienced than others. So it's a kind of a cat in the bag for me. And they kind of also going through this tricky road of Daddy. And Daddy, this band, it's just unique. Their support was just unique for them. And getting the same support, I'm not really sure. I'm not entirely sure. And with the funk song, you have to give so much drive into this. Remember Belgium in 2016? She was every single note you driving you, and it's gonna depend on staging. It's like no harm song. It's fun, and I love this. And the lyrics about abuse, actually.
Oh, it's quite dark.
I haven't listened to the song, and I was like, "Yay, my actor skills!" Yeah, I was like, his nose is bleeding. He just said his nose is bleeding. Wait, I was just a second away, like Bruno Mars dancing, and his nose bleeding. His wife beat him or what? You just like stop and think that like, why they so making fun of somebody beating someone?
Yeah. Well, it kind of makes me think of some songs from the 70s, like even the Bee Gees, when you actually like looked into the lyrics of, let's say, Staying Alive, there was a darkness to it. And just because you're dancing doesn't mean that you have to be dancing for superficial reasons. Like, I think that's actually kind of a beautiful thing if there's an underlying serious message. And even like, artists like Marvin Gaye did it all the time too. So yeah, I that's quite clever in my view.
All darkness. You call all darkness.
But one thing I also want to say too, because you made the comparison to Daddy, which is fair because both have elements of funk in it. But I think that the biggest difference between the lead singer from Our Atlantic and Daddy is that he's moving around so much. He's got such amazing in that music video. Like he's really like quite energetic, and I think that that's something that could help with the actual physical singing of it too. So I don't know. I think this is a very interesting entry. I can see why people are not loving it, but hopefully they'll give it a chance, and maybe it will surprise people.
Yeah, that's so true.
Let's see what you're saying. And Alexander also agreeing with the Paula Punk feeling. Margarita saying, sorry, but 0 points. So yeah, I mean, again, I'm not that surprised that
she's
not
a huge fan of Michael Soul. She interviewed him.
Okay.
Fangirling all the way through the interview. So she's like, everyone 0 points. Go home.
I see.
Go home.
Okay.
She's Margarita Stan Anuk.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna add because I felt I was negative about this entry. I think the abuse was they think about abuse in a very kind of ironic way. So I think bring a lot of irony to this.
I see. Yeah, which again, that's an effective, to have that involved with a danceable song. Again, I'm so sorry I can't read your name, but Our Atlantic song reminds me of Vari Brava from Benidorm Fest this year. Did either of you watch Benidorm Fest?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree.
And you didn't, Dylan?
No, I did not actually. I just watched.
Cancel.
I just listened to the song and watched the performance online on YouTube.
Okay.
But I didn't watch it live actually.
I really was such a big fan of Benidorm Fest, and I can't wait for the next one.
You can save yourself by saying that you voted for Tara.
Who, me? Oh, Dylan.
It was actually my favorite, but I mean, what can I say? Lost anyway.
We've got Min Hinsti Dance, great song, saying that I like it. Mm-hmm. And Erica, I'm not sure who Erica is, so I'll leave that one. G87ESC saying they want to see OGAE release an album one day. Well, they have released an album, or like an LP. I don't know if you would call it. It's older, but yes, we would like to see a new one too. Definitely.
They signed with a label, and I think they have like a lot of work to do with the label, and how it's like bureaucracy works. They wanted to release earlier. It's what I heard from interview Katya and Sheva. I'm sorry.
All good. Why don't we move on to our next artist? So these are actually returning faces to, at least, they were involved in Vidbeer 2 years ago. Cloudless. Tell me about Cloudless.
I wanted to hear from you guys because I also kind of biased. I interviewed them, and they are the ones, they want to win so bad. They just want to show like everything. And the soloist, he's a very dedicated and charismatic guy. And I think if they won, they can bring good rock quality to the stage, like soft engine quality, not the similar style, but so similar, I would say, quality. So this is a Ukrainian pop rock group, which includes Anton Panfilov, Yuri Kalesh. Yuri is the lead singer. Hi, Yuri. And Viktor Zhukov, Alexander Kovachev. They were presented in Vidbeer a couple of years ago with Draw Me Down. They didn't go to the final, unfortunately. I was really upset. And I know I listened to the lyrics. I would fix a lot of things in lyrics, but Drive it had a lot of energy and drive, and I think they can deliver. So they bring in similar stuff. I'll be all right to this with beer. What do you
All
think?
right. Well, let's take a listen.
You can break me, you can stop me, you can find out what's on my mind, but don't be afraid, babe, I won't stop.
Yeah, definitely lots of energy with this one. And, you know, thinking back to their performance from Vidbeer, I do think that we are going to expect an energetic performance for this song. Dylan, tell me your thoughts about it.
I love it. I love the rocky staging that I can picture already. It has a great potential, and it could really shake the Vidbeer 2022. But at the same time, I'm a bit skeptical about the fact that it's again a rock song. So, you know, we got used to it with Italy last year. We also have Bulgaria this year. So I don't know how it could do actually in a final. But it's a great song again, and I can tell that the result on Saturday night will be amazing. I just don't know what to expect if it qualifies for the Eurovision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough. And, you know, I think with regards to the song, the garage rock sound of it, you know, it's the kind of thing that I would, when I hear the song, I think about, you know, going out with my friends to like a small but crowded bar, drinking some beers, kind of dipping in and out of what's going on stage. And then when this song comes up, this is like the one that like catches your attention, and you decide to actually move towards the stage and, you know, give the band your full attention. So so in that respect, like I really like that part of it, and I admire the message of resilience in it too, because I think that given the circumstances right now, a lot of people can really feel that, regardless, not you know, just in Ukraine but all around the world. I think that with the English lyrics, it is lacking some finesse, but not a major deal breaker in my books.
Mm-hmm. You know, if they would go for the win, and I can see how we can stage this in Eurovision, but I can see it winning the whole thing, obviously, and not talking about competition at Eurovision. They have competition right now at Vidbeer, very tough.
Absolutely.
Very tough one. But also a thing nobody thought about, how actually singers sounded like, and how many favorites failed to deliver great songs during previous Vidbeer. And you remember Torvald, they just they were more charismatic. I voted for them because they were like more charismatic, and the stage presence was so much better comparing to the others. Others were like so unreliable. One was like sick and sing, one was like something else. And see, this is a twist where this dedication, and I love people who want to win, who love Eurovision, want to win, and they go for it. So this factor could bring them, I would tweak the lyrics, definitely. I would bring more manifesto and message to the song, because it's like in translation, it's losing a lot. Yeah, that's just my feeling, and I love your opinions. Thank you.
Well, no, and yeah, I completely agree with that too. Like I see a lot of potential for this to resonate in that way, and you know what you said about having that commitment, like showing that desire to want to give it your all and potentially go to Eurovision. I absolutely respect, and I think you do as well too, Dylan.
Yeah, definitely. It's a strong competitor, but as you said, it has a lot of competition already in Vidbeer, and I don't know, but definitely it's in my playlist, and it's songs that stay in your heads.
Showing some love. Alexander Pagels is showing some love. Great rock song. Every song in Vidbeer really does have something. Vladislav saying different. I don't understand the hype about Cloudless. Nothing special for me.
Don't read this. Bye.
Maurizio, maybe we'll answer this at the end because it's a little bit off topic, but thank you for the question. This year, Cloudless's entry is a bit of a downgrade compared to the previous attempts. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of on par. What do you guys have to say about that?
I couldn't read this. I'm sorry. Can you repeat?
Well, this person feels like the song that they're bringing forward this time is a downgrade from the last one. Would you say so?
You know what? I always thought about like staging, but elevate the song more. And you can't see the song until you like see it, because
Yeah.
it's Eurovision.
Absolutely. Like it is, there is something to say about songs that, make an impact on their own, but it always comes down to how things are going to go live. And we do our best to think about that. But nonetheless, why don't we move on to the last song we're going to talk about, but the second last artist. So this is, you're probably going to have to help me out in the pronunciation.
Barleban.
Barleban. Okay, tell me about him.
So here comes to heartbreak, right? Because it should be in loud, right? But I think Barleban is equally important to Vidbeer, equally deserving artist. When I start reading about him, because we were preparing interview, nobody heard about him at all. He was in the military, he served, he's a veteran, and he served as special services, Ukraine. And I couldn't tell, because with all his masculinity inside, he was like a Michael Soul, very genuine and tender person. And I loved him from our interview. So his song, Hear My Words, is very gentle. And it's a ballad. It's quite risky because of tough competition, but also I would say this: to Eurovision, you bring in emotion and the feeling, and this is what's important. Because I didn't vote for Fuego until I felt it in arena. For me, it was absolutely calculated, radio-friendly song. I didn't want to see in the top 5. And when I felt it, I think it deserved one. And this is what he can play on emotion and these feelings. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's take a listen to Barleban.
We'll show the way for your healing.
And of course, we've got the glasses change. Dylan, tell me, what do you think about this one?
This song is very special to me because usually it's not the kind of song I listen. It's a very powerful and very emotional ballad. The type of song that I rarely listen to, but I don't know why it gives me goosebumps, and I get into the song. I like the lyrics, and I think that this singer has an amazing voice, and so it's kind of hypnotizing me, actually. And I would like to see more. I would like to see more about the staging. I can imagine something a bit related to Duncan Lawrence, maybe. I don't know, but I'm really looking forward. Yeah.
When you say that, do you think about him sitting at a piano? Because that's kind of also what I pictured as well, because of the fact that the song it's really piano focused at the beginning, but then obviously you get a little bit more instrumentation at the end.
Yeah. I can see him sitting behind a piano, and just with the right spotlight and maybe some visual effects, it could really deliver an amazing performance.
Yeah, and I think the minimalism of how this song is made gives the opportunity for his voice to shine. It's a very different feeling from the rest of the songs that we have in this selection. So I like what you said, Iryna, about it having its place here. Like it's deserved to be in the mix of things. I do have to say that this is again an example of a song where the English lyrics aren't really that refined for me. I like what he's trying to say with it, but it's held back a little bit by some of the word choices, and so that's why I'm not really that excited about this. And also I do feel like what we see from a lot of the other songs is that authentic cultural identity, whereas this one, it could have almost been sent from anywhere. Like, not that might be a bit too general, but it would be nice if there was like a natural way of incorporating something like that, even if it was, just an additional instrument. So that's why this, doesn't fully work for me, but I respect what it's going for. And you seem like you have more to add to that, Iryna.
Oh, I was just thinking, you bring me to a lot of thinking. I really even need something else here, like third dimension. And I usually against like Ukrainian singing in English, trying to kind of mimic Lady Gaga or whatever, or Lionel Richie, hello. in this case. And I know actually artists like they looking for themselves, and they find themselves in some genre. And why they bring to with beer to Eurovision? What else? Another platform for Europeans to hear our songs in English. So we need to have also patience a little bit to give them a chance to present their lyrics in English. Then I know it's rusty, and I think they can have maybe a couple of tweaks in running to Eurovision. Overall, he's a very good singer, very powerful one. So Goosebumps really justifiable, and we'll see him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, a deserved entry to be here. Let's see what some of you are saying. Alexander Pagels is not quite a fan, but there's space for a ballad as well. And again, like when we're looking at the entire selection, the only other song that is comparable to ballads would be Alina's, which again has more than that going for it.
Quite a ballad. I would say if you bring in piano, forget ballerina. It's been
yeah, it's been done. That's a good point.
Yeah.
DJ Parody saying that was the song that replaced Head Underwater, a song. Oh, okay, I see. I remember the story about that.
Yeah.
But she says it's a nice ballad. And Vitaly's saying it's hard to say at this point. Let's wait for the live show. And somebody I saw.
Thank you.
I saw somebody making the comparison to Salvador Sobral, which, you know, that's a very high compliment, I would say. I don't know if I would choose that for myself, but good on you.
Yeah.
And this person is saying 8 Salvadors out of 10. That's why we love you guys.
Yeah.
So there's one more song that we haven't heard yet by Wellboy, and I'm gonna once again ask you, Iryna, to tell us about Wellboy. I know a little bit about him because I know that he was in the running for an award. I think it was like Ukrainian Song of the Year that was eventually won by OGAE. But what can you tell me about him?
You know, it's. I think I need to sit in these glasses all the way, because he's such a fun character, and I don't think it's a character. I think it's a personality. And what's winning at Eurovision usually it's a personality. And if you look through the years, every single winner is a hugely personality.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he revolutionized Ukrainian show business a bit in a very short period of time with the hit Girlzzzz. I didn't get it because I'm kind of still kind of American a little bit. So I didn't get it at first here. And then it's so addictive. It just get into your skin. It's just so addictive. So wherever he's doing there, I think it will be same way addictive. Very intrigued by him.
I looked into some of his music, and one of his more recent releases called I think it's called Vishny. I think it was a great example of the kind of character that he is, because there's lots of humor in the music video, and it's very interesting too because, you know, we can only go off of the songs that we've heard so far, but he, considering the kind of impact that he's had, he might come in with this song that's going to be a surprise and, you know, maybe make a big impact and emerge as a contender. And Dylan, have you been able to introduce yourself to this artist? Do you know anything about him?
I have been checking some of his past songs online, but it's really, really hard to know what to expect, actually, because he has some songs are very different from each other, and I am very curious about it. Yes, I am a bit disappointed that he's working on it still, but overall very excited.
They see, it's a trick. They're not working on it. It's ready. They just turn in the competition and they're gonna release it right before with beer. It's smart move.
Yeah.
In a way, it creates like an expectation. Okay, you can see that.
It will be, I would say, Serduchka like, because the character more like to the village, something like playing on this sentiment, and we all can relate. And he's so simple. he's like ordinary, and I remember at our interview he played ukulele and he created a song about Eurovision right away.
Ah.
But he seems very accessible actually on social media. When you follow a bit, he seems very nice and very accessible. So yeah, I think he could have like a good personality and put it forward in the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm obviously very curious, and I like the idea that this seems to be a bit of a strategy, that he's working on the song.
Yeah, they have a snippet there. It's Nozzy Bossy, and he said to me it was a banner. And see, the thing, it's a tough competition, and I see like with beer, their approach is less is more. In this way, we have 8 quality songs, 8 quality performances. It's gonna be very interesting to look for. It's not raw like it was before, because I know you said you prefer Cloudless previous song, but I think I would prefer their staging this time. Because he told me they didn't have much time to like do the runs and repetition, so they were just somewhat improvising, as I understand. So right now they watching everything and control.
Right. Yeah. Right. I see. And yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the less is more idea. When I think about the selections that I've enjoyed so far this year, they've been the ones that seem to have that in mind. Like, I'm very excited for Finland's selection later this month. Just 7 songs, 7 quality songs, and even Benidorm Fest again. When we were talking about, yes, they had semifinals and it was a little bit bigger. It was 14, but again, quality songs, and that's what I see here. And that's why I think now that we've talked about all of them as best as we can, we have to choose a winner. And I'm going to go to you first, Dylan. Who do you see winning?
Who do I see winning? Honestly, it's hard to tell, but I would, bet maybe on Roxolana.
Okay. And would that be your preferred winner too?
Okay.
Yeah, it would be my preferred winner, actually.
Okay. And now how about you, Iryna?
Okay, so I'm gonna drop insider information here. My friend, who's a very popular blogger on YouTube, she lives here in America. She interviewed her students. So 40 Americans graded the songs, and they give following results. They graded 3 songs in particular. It's Alina, Pash, Kalesh, and Roxolana. Your favorite came first. Roxolana came first, and they didn't get Kalesh at all.
Interesting.
I mean, different tastes, maybe.
Yeah, and
yeah, I would say this: it's very tricky with the beer, because charismatic singers and artists. We have all 8 of them. And it could go either way, and it's not looking great for Barleban and our Atlantic so far because of fan base. Other artists have more, and I see it's between 3. I already mentioned it's Kalesh, Roxolana, or Alina, Pash. So yeah.
And I mean, I think that last time, at least it's like thinking about the larger Eurovision fan base, there was lots of love for GOE, but I think that not everybody was 100% sure that they would be the winners. And then it became a little bit more clear on that day of the final when they really elevated their performance. And that final was one that I was really excited about. So yeah, there are always surprises, and I'm gonna have to agree with both of you. I do think that Roxolana is bringing something that would be great for Eurovision, has the potential for mass appeal, but also shows a tasteful level of Ukrainianness, if you want to call it that. I do still see the threat of Alina, Pash and Kalesh Orchestra. And possibly Wellboy, because again, we don't know what the song's going to sound like. So who knows? He could come in and it will be like so clear and obvious that he's going to be the winner, but we don't know. So yeah, great to see such a high level of competition. Let us know if you're still tuning in. Let us know who you want to see win. So far, we've got Alexander Pagels giving us his top 3. Says number 1, Roxolana, number 2, Alina, Pash, number 3, Cloudless. DJ Parody saying Roxolana. Vladislav saying just not Wellboy. Can't say whether we're surprised from Margarita Stananik. My top 3, Michael Soul, Roxolana, and Alina Pash. Vitaly saying he's very Ukrainian, maybe too much. So I guess talking about Wellboy, too much for Europe. We'll see, haven't heard the song. Eurovision can make a well man out of Wellboy. I like that. You guys are very clever. I'm very happy that we have such witty viewers. Akina Masuin, Alina, right?
Alina. Oh my god. Okay.
Excited to see the performances because it's difficult to say who's the best now. I like Roxolana. Max Ross saying hello from Italy once again. Tell us your favorite, please. And Vitaly saying Alexander and Serduchka. Yes. So, I mean, I think we've covered everything. So before we go, Iryna, let us know where people can find you and follow you.
Yeah, we have separate channel. OGAE Ukraine has a channel on YouTube. We interviewing people, we making reactions, and we're gonna cover with beer for you guys as much as possible. As much I think it will be like tough competition because it's just final. It'll be like a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you can find OGAE Ukraine channel, and for English speaking people, we created in English version, OGAE Ukraine English. So go ahead, check it out. I know we have 40 people subscribed or something, but we're gonna still work for you. I don't know. Years and years, because we need to present our artists and we need to show Europe what we're made of, what Ukrainian fans think about music, and kind of explore Ukrainian artists at Eurovision as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. And I really think that a lot of, the people that have been involved with Ukraine at Eurovision, they have really made Ukraine a country to watch for a lot of people. And hopefully that can spread to not just the Eurovision fans, but to other people. Yes. And I have to say, too, that one of the most pleasant surprises for me last year, because obviously I was a big fan of OGAE and Shum and them as a band, but it was the fact that when I showed when my family watched Eurovision, all of them loved it as well. They were so into it. My brother would play it like in the shower. We could hear it from outside while we were like waiting to eat lunch or something. And it's like in his shower playlist, and I think that's hilarious. And just to see the amount of love that they got last year from the other competitors too, it was really amazing to see. Amazing to see that they got second in the televote. And let's see something equally amazing this time around as well. I'm going to fit in a few more comments about favorites. Dima saying number 1, Alina, number 2, Pash. And I don't know who you're talking about.
Vitanheit, that's her name.
Okay. G87 ESC saying Alina, number 1, number 2, Roxolana, and number 3, Kalesh. Kalesh. Minhinstidan saying Kalesh as well. Love to OGAE Ukraine. Riyadh joining us right at the very last moment. My first login since San Remo. Where are all the Italians? They're around, trust me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Andy saying show some support to OGAE Ukraine. All right, I think that's where we can leave it. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Iryna. Thank you, Dylan, for coming on this live. I know that you were having some trouble at the beginning, so I'm glad that we got it sorted out. Virtual hug from a distance.
Yeah.
If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Eurovoxx, because it's not just Ukrainian selection that we follow, it's all of the selections. So we'd love to know what you have to say about those. Reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we will see you on the next video when we're talking about whatever's coming next, because obviously it's a very busy time of year.
Yeah,
Take care, everyone.
Bye.